What's up, guys? Welcome back to the week after the album review show where we missed the deadline to get hop on the hype train and join everyone else in talking about new music. Instead, we're going to wait a week until after the album has come out so we have time to actually listen to it a few times and not just react with our gut and can think about it a little more critically. Memphis Mayfire just released their new album, Made in Misery. And I gotta say, this is actually probably the easiest album review I will ever have to do because they have released almost the entire album ahead of time, with the exception of the two songs, Misery and The Fight Within. The other 9 songs they already released. If you haven't had time to go listen to those 2 new songs, I'll give you this 7 minutes to go do that now.
5 minutes later.
I understand why they released the album this way. We are starting to see that is becoming more and more the trend, and it's been a trend in pop and especially hip hop a lot over the years. And we're really just now starting to see more rock and metal bands highlighting on that. But it really does make sense if you look at the numbers for like how many streams the songs get and releasing it over the course of about a year, it gives all the songs a little bit of time to stand on their own. Now, if you have an album that's full of filler, obviously that's not going to work. But if each individual song is really good and you want to highlight it, this release method is probably going to become more or less the new norm. If 2009 taught us anything, it was how to write a good metalcore song. Of the pretty traditional pop structure, all right, we got short intro, into verse, into a big catchy chorus, into another verse, which is maybe a little bit different, but mostly the same, into another big chorus, into a build up to a breakdown with a big old one-liner that they shout right before the breakdown, into another big catchy chorus, and then a short outro. And that formula more or less fits this entire album. For the most part, I don't have a problem with that. I mean, it's a tried and true method. It's a great way to write a song. However, when the entire album sounds like that, it does start to get kind of old. However, because of the way that they released the album over the course of about a year, we really could just take the songs by themselves and judge for ourselves which ones we did or didn't like more than others. It's just when you go down to listening to the whole album from beginning to end that it all starts to kind of sound the same. With that said, I think they are heading in a really good direction. I actually did enjoy their most recent record, even though a lot of people didn't. I think that Memphis Mayfire can write just as good rock songs as they can like metalcore songs, and I kind of feel like they've melded the two together here. I think the first 2 singles, Blood and Water and Death Inside, are 2 of the stronger tracks on the album, which is crazy because I mean, we've had about a year-ish with those 2 songs, and we've really got to think about, like, are they really that good? Or, they're good, but I've heard them so many times. But no, I think even now, with the full album being out, I still think that those are some of the strongest songs on the album. Another personal favorite of mine is going to be Make Believe, and it really just it encaptures the Linkin Park energy, you know? It's got a lot of like crawling or numb, like the like early Linkin Park ballad-ish. It's got a lot of that, but I mean, that's kind of the demographic. Like the people who are writing and listening to metalcore these days are the people who were the butt rock new metal kids, 10, 15 years ago. Now again, some of the songs, especially in the context of the full album, they do lose some of their power, or they're just a little bit weaker compared to some of the other songs. For instance, I think both of these 2 new songs that you didn't get to hear ahead of time, Misery and Fight Within, I think they're perfectly good songs, but they kind of get, like, they're underwhelming compared to a lot of the other songs. Fight Within is especially a bit of a letdown in that category, just because I'm such a sucker for ballads. When heavy bands write slower songs, those are sometimes, at least in my opinion, some of their best songs. And so it's kind of a bummer that I think that song kind of missed the mark compared to a lot of the other songs. Track 6, which is Your Turn, which I think was the last single they released before the full album, which is just a few weeks ago. That also is kind of a weaker song. I don't think the chorus is as catchy. I don't think the heavy parts hit as hard. But with that said, I mean, every album is going to have its strongest songs and its weakest songs, and those are kind of my picks for the best and the worst. But all those songs in the middle are also really good, and those songs that I think are meh, they're definitely not bad. There's definitely like well-written songs. I think it's just that compared to everything else, eh. So what do I think about the album overall? Well, again, I think in the context of listening to it from beginning to end, it doesn't have a lot of staying power as like an album, which I feel like Memphis Mayfire are kind of leading that charge in the sense of let's write a bunch of really, really good songs that stand well on their own, and whether or not it makes an album, whatever. I mean, there are like the dedicated fans like myself who like to own physical albums, so I appreciate that they do this for the fans like us. So yeah, as an album, but as individual songs, almost every song on here is phenomenal. If that's kind of the way that albums are just made now, I think that would be kind of a bummer. I mean, there's always people who are gonna do it the old school way, you know, of it's very intentional what the order of the songs are, maybe there's interludes or something like that. Like, there's always gonna be people who keep albums the way they're supposed to be, but I really did enjoy over the last year Memphis Mayfire just releasing like one song at a time, so you really have time to digest it, form your opinions about each song, and then they all get their own little bit of staying power. Like, if you look at some of their top songs on Spotify, most of their top 10 songs on Spotify are these new songs, and that's because they've released them in this way, and that's been able to boost them in algorithms for new releases and get them on the public playlists and stuff like that. I'm really happy with what they were able to put together, so I'm gonna turn it over to you guys. Let me know in the comments down below about what some of your favorite songs are on the album. What do you think of it as a whole, like from beginning to end? Are there some songs that you don't think hold up as well? Let me know. Oh, before I forget, I think I do letter grades on these. It's been a long time since I made one of these videos, so I don't remember. If I had to give it a letter grade, I think the songwriting itself, I would give an A+. But as far as the album itself, as far as like a flow, I'm just gonna give it a solid B. It's really good, but it's mostly just a bunch of really good songs thrown together in a pile more than it is like a fun listening experience, if that makes sense. But overall, like I said, the songwriting and the individual songs themselves, pretty much all of them are A's. Share this video with a friend if they like Memphis Mayfire. Maybe you can use this video as a way to encourage them to check out their new record. I will be doing another one of these videos in just a couple days. I am doing a review of Post Malone's new album. Make sure you are subscribed so you see that video when it comes out. And I will talk to you guys later.